Bam. Fam, there's not a lot to get excited about right now. But I'm telling you right now, I've been thinking about the draft, and if you know, each and every year, it ain't about the first and second round pick anyway. It's usually that beyond that. We need to get excited about the draft for no other reason. It doesn't start until day 2 for us. We got to wait for everybody else to get what they think is going to be the best in the crop. When we know that, with the people we got working for us, they're going to bring back some gems. I'm going to talk about that because there's not going to be a lot of gems back because the fact of the matter is we don't have a lot of room and we definitely don't have a lot of money. But B.P.A. for the 2023 draft, how long have we said each and every year? Because we sit there and we watch top flight players go to other teams and we say things like, well, we didn't really need a wide receiver. Well, we didn't need a quarterback. We need an edge rusher. We don't need a linebacker. See now, if there's a killer anything, when you got 3 third-round picks, you get the best one out of the 3 picks, right? I'm thinking they're going to go that direction finally, all right? Because you looking at the Niners' current roster, there are a number of things that there are a lot of things that could be true. First, the roster doesn't really have any gaping holes. I know. Here's the reason why I'm not saying anything about the offensive line is this. The odds are that there are no players in the draft that can come in and take a spot from a starter anyway. No matter what offensive line, when you pull out of the draft right now, he's not going to be able to beat the guys out there on the offensive line right now. I mean, I'm even looking at the right side. Hopefully you could bring one in. They come in and groom. It takes offensive linemen a little bit longer to click when they come into the NFL, and we've seen that because we had new offensive linemen come in, and the quarterback just got beat to death. C.J. Beathard, he's still trying to get over the pain. So could this be the first year that San Francisco can actually select the best player available and that round 3 a jubilee of picks, which includes so many? What will they bundle some of their many picks together to trade up for a move? That's what I'm thinking. You got to do it. You're not. Tonight, we'll go to the phones for your opinion on the Niners' upcoming draft, episode 2023. And how should it be engineered this year regarding needs versus B.P.A.? Because I'm excited about the B.P.A. thing. It could be any number. And if it's a wide receiver, Kyle, you can't. What do we not like to draft? Go ahead and get whatever's on top of the heap. What do we have an abundance of? Even if it's a linebacker, I don't care. Bring him in. You got 3 third-round picks. The first one should be a tight end as far as I'm concerned because I'm sick of every year. We need to get somebody to pair up with George Kittle. Well, why don't we stop saying that and get somebody? You don't want to pay a lot of money for a tight end. I get it. But if he's there in the 3rd round and you see a perfect tight end, one you know that's going to work in the system. He blocks. He's sharp. He runs great routes. He's big. He's strong. Get him. Get him. I don't care about what we got. Cut what we got if we have to. This is dog eat dog, man. NFL. We're talking here. If you can't cut the mustard, we'll find somebody who can. Anyway, fam. But every year, NFL franchise has to replenish its roster or become vulnerable to the hustling results achieved by every team in the league that they're doing this time of year. That's all everybody's trying to do. Get better. Because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And that means if you haven't done anything to improve your roster, other people have, that other team is going to beat you, right? Also, we talked about this the other day in regards to cost, fam. There is no sense in bringing in 11 kids to audition for the rest of the NFL to watch due to the fact that the Niners are cash-strapped, and they can't sign them all anyway. There's no place for them. We have depth on this team. That's what's really funny. This team has first-line and second-line players. Where's that rookie going to come in? Unless he's really sensational. And I hesitate to say this, but no, I'm not going to say it. You know why? Because the 3rd round, 4th round picks, look at George Kittle, 5th round. You gonna tell me he couldn't beat somebody out? So it's not where you're drafted in the draft. It's your ability to play. Now, if you got a lot of promotion before the draft came up, like the NFL Network does each and every year, It's like an advertisement going on for the best players that they think are the best players. I don't know. I don't even know what they're using as a grading measure anyway. But here's a thought: since John and Kyle are making jokes about trading each other, we trade each other if we thought it improved the team. You guys, and I believe it too. We've seen that. The conversation for Brandon Ayuk has come up at the owners' meeting. John made it clear to all who asked that Ayuk wasn't available. Gave him a lot of flattering things, said all kind of great things about him, said how much he loved his mom and everything. And we're talking about the guys at the mindset of we will do whatever it takes to make this team a winner. Fam, by the way, let me make one thing clear as the Rams' chances of competing next year. I mean, the Rams are dead and on their way to the mortuary. I'm talking that clear, all right? I am an Ayuk fan. I do not want him going anywhere, but I understand this is business, and I'm not going to get my feelings hurt again behind some things that are done in the front office. I just expect it, or I don't expect it, don't want it, but accept it. When it happens, it's nothing you can do, right? So with the draft coming up, Ayuk for the Giants, first-round pick on the horizon. Because John and Kyle, their mouth starts to water when you start talking deal. So they can act all they want to in front of the cameras and reporters to write up things. And 49ers say under no circumstances are they willing to part with Brandon Ayuk. They want to move ahead into the future. They're very impressed with their 2020 first-round pick. And there is no plan to move Ayuk. Okay, fine. Bam. Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. Now, he's rated as the best tight end in college football, right? A late first-round pick could bring him to San Francisco. And you better be good, too, because you get rid of Brandon Ayuk, whatever you do, it better be good. How about offensive tackle, the big Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State? Fam, here's the thing, because we've already painted a window for Trent Williams. He's probably going to say goodbye after 2 more years, especially if we piss him off and don't have a good showing in the postseason. Paris comes in, takes over the left side, and then we have to go back to worrying about the right side again. These are the things that happen. All right? This all could be sooner than later for Trent. So if you already started worrying about that, wait. Trent may get all excited. He may get rejuvenated. If we win a Super Bowl, I think Trent would stay another year to defend it because he'd like to have 2 rings. And if he thinks the team's not going to lose too much as far as personnel goes, he's not leaving. But if you have anything to add to the madness that is the Niners quarterback room that you may not had time fully to address last time we were on the phone, it's giving me a headache. But fam, I'm here for you. So, if you want to talk about the quarterback situation, please don't mind me. I'll just sit back and stay out of the way. Because it's become a sore spot with me. But I try not to pay any attention to it. But, I put a Band-Aid on it and keep moving. So, anyway, fam, that's what I'm thinking. Big Show says, fam, I'll send you my only mock for this year soon. Show, I know you. I'll wait another 2 weeks because your mind changes. And you're going to see some people you like. I know. You're going to see some trades you can make. He says, I've learned to restrain myself from sending multiple mocks. I got to see it to believe it, Show, but okay, I'll wait. I'll always wait for you. The man that has started fires and they're burning out of control. It is my dude, Chill Pill Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Phil.
I
How you doing
fire because I'm not wrong.
Man's got to stand behind his convictions. You're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I said Brock was going to be the guy, Kyle and John Lynch backed me up.
Yeah, they did.
They
Yeah,
did.
they did.
So, but you know, I think in the draft, where we go is we're going to go for the best player that's going to help the team. We've got a roster that can fulfill everything we need, right?
Yeah, free agency picked up everything that was missing.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a kicker and everything else.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to draft to make the team better. And so if a tight end comes up who makes us better, we're going to go for it. Safety, we're going to go for it. Offensive lineman, we're going to go for it. Defensive lineman, edge, probably, we're going to go for it. Kicker, probably in the 7th round, but we're going to go for it.
You got them prioritized then, don't you, as to what order you take them in?
Well, you look at your board, right? And if you've got an offensive lineman that's above the defensive lineman you have, you're going to take the offensive lineman, right? So they're going to. The Niners are in a situation where they pick the best player possible. Not too many teams are in that situation. So.
Yeah, well, there's a couple. The Rams are in that position because it doesn't matter who they pick up; it's not going to be enough.
Exactly, but the Niners are going to pick. They got to. The Rams are going to pick for need, right?
They need everything. I mean, they need everything. So no matter who's up, they could definitely go B.P.A. this year because no matter what they pick, they need it.
Let's put it this way: the Rams put a letter out to their season ticket holders.
I want to find it.
And said, "We're going to be crap." How does that feel for a season ticket holder?
Like he's not coming back this year. Yeah, Phil, you buy those tickets. You buy them in years in advance, or season? Buy them every season, or do you buy that for 2 or 3 years?
$250 every month for the 49ers for my season tickets. I have 2 season tickets.
Mm-hmm. So you don't
every month.
So you're not buying them 2, 3 years at a time. You're just buying them for their season then.
Yeah, it's basically for one season.
So that crowd's gonna be real empty this year, real empty. Other than our fans.
No kidding.
When they come in,
no kidding. It was empty before.
I know.
Ronbo. But you know what? I feel really good about the 49ers. I mean, you look at all the after the free agency power rankings, we were no lower than 5.
Yeah.
And most of them, we were at 3.
Yeah.
Because they picked Kansas City and Cincinnati above us.
Well,
but I mean,
and the Eagles should have been. Super Bowl teams.
Would you rather be some other team that is last on the power rankings?
By the way, did you notice who is that? Is it Texas?
Well, Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, they're first on the draft order. That's right. But I think they're better than Texas. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, there's a bunch of teams you could put down there.
From the bottom up, I know.
You're in Los Angeles. Of the top. And we're one of the teams that are going to compete for a Super Bowl. I love that.
Well, we're always in that conversation, Phil, and that's what frustrates a lot of people, is saying and thinking the way they do. You got to stop knocking on the door and kick that thing down.
I know, but eventually we will.
I feel that same way. Super Bowls aren't just won easily, because if they were, everybody'd have one, including the Cardinals.
Luck.
Yeah.
A little bit of luck, a little bit of referee calls. I mean, hell, if the 49ers got a call when Bosa got held, tackled, on a 4th and 15, Mahomes would never have made that completion.
You know,
It would have been 4th and
that just
45.
still burns my ass.
I
that
know.
Perfectly bad call at the perfect time. It's always like that, Phil. Timing is everything in those championship games when teams are near
screwed.
equal.
We get screwed. So we got to go above the screwed.
Yeah.
You know? That's the way I feel. I think the 49ers are one of those teams that they don't want us to win.
Yeah.
So we got to excel beyond that.
And we got the maturity to do so now. Like I said back in 2019, I said, I don't know, guys. These guys aren't of a maturity yet to do that. Let's see what happens. And it wasn't even their fault. They were mature enough. They could have won that. With a 10-point lead, with minutes to go. Come on. Do it.
This team with this roster, I think we are right there.
Prime.
First of all, we're going to walk in to the playoffs. Our division sucks.
Mm.
It's like New England did for years.
Mm-hmm.
Miami sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Jets sucked. Buffalo sucked. And they walked right into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget about the NFC East. Kind of similar situation for the Cowboys, making everybody believe the Cowboys were actually a good football team. And I kept saying, you know, they got 12 games, 2, 4, 6. They got 6 games every year that are just automatic. See, now we got that pleasure.
Yes. Not anymore.
Yeah.
So, no, I think Arizona's a dumpster fire. The Rams, I mean, they put out a letter to their season ticket holders that they're going to be a dumpster fire.
You know, I've got to find that letter.
Seattle is rebuilding.
You know what, though? They still got Pete Carroll. I'm not going to count the Hawks.
Yeah,
they're going to be tough.
3 times last year.
That's true. But, you know, they were still, in the first quarter, they were competing. You know, a lot of teams didn't even do that, but the Rams and the Cardinals, that was embarrassing in Mexico with the Cardinals. I actually felt sorry for them later. I mean, that was just pathetic.
I mean, Ronbo, we're winning every game in our division. Seriously, we'll be favored in every game in our division.
Should be.
Home and away. Then you look, we got to play Tampa Bay without Brady. No way. They don't beat us. And we got, you know, I mean, I'm looking at the schedule, and we got Minnesota on the road. They have no defense. We'll kill them.
And there's something really wrong in Philadelphia. I mean, Minnesota too. That's a really strange team. They won all those games they won, but they really weren't what the record stated. And I was seeing that.
No, they weren't.
How'd they do that?
Honestly, Detroit is going to be the best team in that division.
No question about that. None. Oh, my God, they're building a monster over there.
And we don't have to play them.
Good.
The Rams do.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
I mean, then we got Pittsburgh, Washington, Cleveland. I mean, on the road. We're going to be favored in every one of those games.
Yeah.
Come on.
We got the 10th easiest.
The only team I can see that we'd be a non-favored team is Philadelphia out on the road.
Yeah, Philly's losing
We
a
got
lot.
Dallas here. We're going to beat Dallas again.
Philly's losing a lot of blood, though. I want to see what they look like
They
from
lost
week
6
one.
starters,
Yeah,
including Hargrave. Their starter.
Right, and those are key players we're talking about here. So they can come out there and still compete next year at the same level. I'm going to be real impressed with the coaching staff.
You know, in Baltimore, who knows who's going to be their quarterback?
Phil, you know what? I know it's going to. Lamar's not going to play. Baltimore's not going to pay. Nobody's going to offer Lamar enough money that the Ravens aren't going to match it, and every team knows that. So Lamar's going to say, you know what? You guys got me in a position now where I can't just come back and play. I'm sitting out.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I do too.
Seriously.
He's got no choice. That means the Ravens have called his bluff.
He's going to call their bluff, and he's going to sit out.
for at least 4 to 5 weeks.
Well, 4 to 5 weeks will destroy both.
Yeah, well, that'll destroy the team. So they might not wait that long. But the Ravens are going to have to bend over, or else they're going to get. It's going to be bad. So I think they're going to pay him. But he's going to have to sit out
Ronbo,
until
I don't see us being underdogs, other than maybe Philadelphia on the road next year.
And you might wait to hold off on that, because let's wait and see what Philly looks like, because I don't see them coming in with the same double barrel shotgun they had to start
I'm
last
just saying
year.
that of all the teams, that would be the one.
Yeah. If you're going to look at
that, we're going to be favorites.
Phil, we got to go. Love the positivity today. I'll be back. Sunday.
You know what? I am a glass half full.
Yeah. That's why I appreciate you, Phil.
All right.
Yeah.
And you are too.
I stay that way. I try.
Stay that way.
I'm going to get better at it too this year. I'm not partial toward any players this year. I think I'm ready to be neutral and unbiased for the most part.
We're a good team. We are a good team. No matter who's quarterbacking, we are a good team.
Damn right. I mean, that's a lot of firepower out there. You got to get it before they all sign.
All right, Ronbo.
You become too expensive. Phil, have a great night.
All right, Ronbo.
Hey,
Take
Phil.
care.
You too.
All right.
Bye, Phil.
Bye.
And let's bring in that man from the blue waters of Hawaii. Tiny bubbles. It's Tony Nagatani. Tony!
Ronbo, happy Friday. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Tony, It's like, even though I don't want to sound so conceited, but our team does look just nails. They really are. You look at it from top to bottom of the roster. We're not going to pay attention to the quarterback, because the fact of the matter is, I think either one of those guys can get the job done with the arsenal of weapons. I mean, it's like Rambo at the beginning of every movie. Remember Rambo? He's loading up all his weapons. He'd throw the knife into his one side. He'd put the bullets around his bullet belt around him. He would have another weapon here, another weapon there. Then he'd pick up that 500-pound machine gun and walk out there. How's he going to lose? That's the 49ers, Woo!
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely one of the best rosters in the league still, top to bottom. It is still loaded. We talk about a couple of problem areas all the time, but, I think really and truly almost every other team in the league would love to be where we are in terms of roster depth.
Absolutely.
And that is very, very exciting. And given the way things have gone in terms of just, sacrificing a lot of our early picks, for the quarterback, for Christian McCaffrey, we still have those 11 picks going into this draft. And we have the opportunity to, as you say, draft best player available. And because there really isn't a totally clear need overall. I mean, obviously that we're not going to talk about quarterback today, but offensive line is the thing that we've always talked about as the clear need, I guess. But they've brought back McKivitz, and they brought in some Feliciano depth, and it's all in all, I think they'll be able to field a serviceable offensive line if they don't end up drafting anyone. Plus, we got Zakel and Poe sitting there waiting for their second year. And of course, and also what was it? Jalen Moore, who's currently Trent Williams' backup who's going to his third year. So there's some interesting pieces that hopefully will take that step forward. But more than anything, I think that the Niners need to just be looking at that draft board and seeing who falls, because they have those 3 third-round draft picks. And if somebody big who they have a really high, maybe even first-round grade, falls somewhere into the mid-second, it might be time to pull the trigger on a trade-up. Because, you are right. It's very unlikely that 11 rookies are going to be able to make this team, just given how good that roster is. But at the same time, too, though, remember, we are changing defensive coordinators. And so maybe some people like, Embry Thomas and a few of those folks might not no longer be in the long-term plans, just given how the scheme might change and how the defense might change. But I could be wrong about that too. Wilkes could end up, bringing out the best in Embry Thomas. But yeah.
There's some question marks as far as players go. You're right. How much tolerance can he see within a player whether they've got what it takes? These are things that a lot of coaches really. It's an art form for him. So yeah, Embry could be in trouble. I still think there's some mental issues going on with him. Something took place over the offseason last year that's done something strange to him. That's not the same Embry Thomas. Not even close.
It's interesting to me because the Niners, when they draft cornerbacks, and I'm a big proponent of drafting corner overall, but you look at Akello and you look at Embry, both these great physical specimens, right. But both, but both not quite there mentally. And I think just, that's what you get a lot of times when you draft for traits over football players. But at the same time, when you draft for traits, sometimes you get George Kittle, who was a superb athlete running that 4.5 40 coming out, so it can go either way. But then you look at what they did, drafting Talanoa Hufanga, who honestly, wasn't the fastest, prospect coming out of there. But in that position, they drafted for a football player, honestly, over traits, and that worked out for him. So it's six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. And I'll be honest with you, Ronbo, I think the Niners should fire multiple shots in the draft at the cornerback position. But that's because looking at the teams that the Niners would have to face to get to and win the Super Bowl, we're talking about beating the Eagles, who have Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown and other wide receivers as well. And then if you look at the AFC side of things, it's most likely going to be the Chiefs again. And they, the way to beat Patrick Mahomes is to take away his receivers. And the way you do that is by playing better coverage. And so I'm hopeful. They say this is a very deep cornerback draft. And I would very much like the 49ers to be drafting up at corner. Even though we have Mooney, Lenore played very well last season. Let's hope he can keep it going. But I would like to see multiple cornerbacks coming out of this draft. Young guys who can run, and who Wilkes, who they say is a defensive back guru, can coach up and honestly take away the other team's wide receivers, because that's how the modern NFL game has to be played, especially when you're playing great quarterbacks. You can let them sit back there, but if they don't have anybody open, then you give Nick Bosa time to hunt. But you do that by taking away. Yep. So, I would like it very much if the Niners, focus on defense. As you say, take best player available and access the depth of corner in this draft and get young guys who can run and see how that turns out.
And Tony, I think you'll feel rewarded after this draft, mainly because Wilkes is that guy that likes that secondary coverage. He feels the same way as you do about don't let that quarterback have avenues to throw into, and the front line can eat. There's only so long he can stand there and look for receivers. If all those lanes are looking like they're shut down, and this is why when Richard Sherman and company came out with the cover 3, it was brilliant. It's been worn out now. People have figured it out, but that was the ultimate idea. You get long, rangy guys to make it real difficult to thread the needle. Now that front line can eat no matter how good they are. And that principle still stands, though. You still can do that. But you should have two decent fielders.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's two ways to look at coverage, right? So you have the cover 3 with the Legion of Boom, with those 4 Pro Bowlers who were there in the height of Seattle. But also look at New England. They don't run that cover 3. They play a lot more match coverage, a lot more man coverage. But for them too, they emphasize play in the defensive backfield and then manufacturing pass rush. So there's more than one way to skin that cat, and it's just a matter of do you have those guys within your scheme who can cover? And then from there, if we, go get the quarterback because the quarterback cannot find anyone who is open. And like all things, it's a balance. But I'm a big believer in how important coverage is. And even look at our linebackers. Fred Warner was a former safety. Yeah.
Because that's the modern day linebacker. He's not big and powerful and just a brain beater. This guy can actually cover. So, yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So, but I'm excited for this draft, even though we're not going to be picking until the end of day 2, and we're going to see. But yeah, Ronbo, you're right. Best player available.
And he's going to be good. And for the 49ers, the best player available could be the best player in the draft in the 4th or 5th round. That's what I like. Well, I with George Kittle. He was out there running a pattern for C.J. Beathard out in Iowa, and the 49ers looked up. Who's that kid out there running that route? That's George Kittle. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just make a note
Coach
of that.
Embry picked that one out. They drafted. Remember, they drafted Kittle to be a blocking tight end, and then it turns out he also ran that 4.5 40, and then they realized, kid can run, but he was drafted to be a blocking tight end. I remember that day. But he did great, and hopefully the Niners scouts can keep on pulling out these gems with the late picks and continue to build the roster from the bottom up, because that's how you build a long-term sustainable roster.
That's how you do it.
Exciting stuff.
Tony, always a pleasure, and we're going to talk again soon. I hope you got my email, and I want an answer from you, too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Tony.
All right, take care, Ronbo. Aloha.
You too. Aloha, Tony. And here he is. Let's go to Tennessee, where the Dragon Master is sitting back in his abode, shouting orders and running things as his wife says to him, "Shut up. You're not in charge." He is Papa Dragon. Hey, Pop. She must have. Pop, you got to wash those dishes first? We'll wait.
Oh,
we'll be back.
What's up?
Oh, there he is.
I was having technical difficulties.
Well, glad you got that out.
What's happening?
Well, Pop, we're looking at the draft and not trusting Lynch anymore, because when he says things, he doesn't mean it. And when Kyle says things that but Lynch came out and made it seem like, well, we're not really interested in moving Brandon Ayuk. We really think he's a good ball player, and he's got nothing but good things ahead of him. So we're not really interested. John should really run for a political office. The guy's good. If I hear anything about Brandon Ayuk moving, I'm going to say, you know what, John, that's it. And I said it 2 years ago. He said something and it wasn't true. I said, John, that's it. You know what? That's it. I've been gullible and naive with you talking for the last time. That's it. But Paul, let me stop. What do you think about this draft?
I really do think that this regime is completely unpredictable, and I think is
no doubt,
and that's to their strength. At least, like I said before, like I say, some people don't, know what the Niners were like back when Jed was like in his 30s. It was just a hot mess of leaks.
When Trent Baalke was running things, that's true.
Yep, exactly. So it was really a hot mess then.
Some of you 49er fans ought to hurry up and get off my ass.
Right. So it's like with Trent, and I hope he recovers from throat cancer. With Trent, I think the front office is disarray. I truly do believe and know that the front office that happens right now at the 49ers is completely harmonious, and that they all look at it the same way. Remember John Lynch won a Super Bowl with Rob Johnson. And what has Rob Johnson done other than win a Super Bowl? I don't even remember.
I was trying to think. Yeah.
So, I just think ultimately right now their plan is pretty much set. They have said what their plan is. They reinforced it multiple times. They reinforced it in their actions by picking up Javon Hargrave. So, like I said,
they've not deviated from the first brick they put up on the brick by brick campaign. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
A little bit here and there, but not much.
Right. So, ultimately, what we're seeing right now is yeah, you don't want to believe them. And there's like a lot of noise going on around our quarterback room, and
Oh.
they don't even refer to it as a player; they refer to it as a quarterback room. They say that they don't say that Purdy is number one. They say that he's leader of the clubhouse.
Playing with words,
right?
Yeah.
Everything's a play on words right now. And if you heard Purdy's interview, which he had today,
Mhm.
he's not sure when he's going to be back. And he want to ask, "What do you think about calling you leader of the playoffs?" He goes, "Man, I'm just trying to get healthy." Because not only does he have to try to get healthy, but he's got to get his arm
to work
into throwing shape, right? So
that's where he's at right now, just going through the motion.
I remember I broke my wrist my freshman year in college, and it cost me a spot on the basketball team because it healed, but it just wasn't right.
Well, I know you play. You're a basketball player as well. Yeah, you cannot play basketball without a wrist. You cannot.
No, so whatever your ailment is, and I still have elbow tendonitis from college. Still flares up every once in a while.
Yeah,
and it sucks. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's one of those situations where realistically, which is how I look at it, right? Chill Diet Pill Phil looks at it as a fan. So the glass is always half full, probably a little bit more than half full. Everything's going to be all right. We're going to run through everybody. We're going to walk here. We're going to walk there. I kind of look at things more globally, and I definitely respect my opponents. I may not like them, but I respect them. I know we don't know what Seattle's going to do with their 2 number 1s and 2 number 2s. What if they hit home runs 3 out of 4? You know what I mean?
They did last year. Those offensive linemen are not bad. They're going to get better.
No, they're not bad. They're not bad. So, I think ultimately it's like when I draft or when I start thinking about draft, I think about it 2 ways. I think about what I would do, then I think about what the 49ers would do, right? So, for example, I really, really like Morse, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. I love him. 6'5", sub 540.
Whoa,
long arms, big hands.
What's his weight?
Papa.
320 pounds.
320?
No, you're open. Shut your mouth, jabroni.
320 can run a sub 5? Is that the guy that was in the combine that everybody's going, whoa?
I'm not sure because I didn't really watch the combine. For me, it's not important to watch the combine anymore. To me, it's like I just look at.
Yeah, I know, right? It's lost its appeal because so many guys come out of there that did a job and didn't play football very well.
Right. I look what the report is. Then after that, I look at what the players have put in tape, and then that gives me an idea who can play in the NFL and can't. And to me, versatility is really key. The one thing I do know about this kid is that he's strong, he's big, he has all the measurables. He plays left tackle and right tackle. And he's got enough physical ability and talent to start early in his career. So remember, we got Trenton Williams, this could be his last year for all we know.
Yes, anytime.
So you really want to get somebody in there who can play left tackle and right tackle, because the more you can do, the better off you'll be, especially for this team. I would do that, right? But I wouldn't put it past the 49ers to trade 3 picks and then get the best defensive player available, because that's how they build their team. They build a defense first, right?
Well, that's a little drastic for the 49ers now. How many picks?
Well, we have 11, but I really only expect them to probably pick 6 or 7.
I know, but I mean, to get that defensive player. Although,
yeah, they'll have to trade 3 picks to get him.
There is a pattern with the 49ers. They are specifically going to put their most energy on the defense. That's true, though.
Right. And I'm okay with it. But to me, I think the philosophy of how you draft is that you have to you want to try to get the best player available within a certain parameter. So, for example, let's say if you have 20 defensive backs and you have 10 offensive tackles, right? You want to pick for the tackles because you still got a shot at one of the top 20 DBs. You see what I'm saying? So this draft is bigger in defensive backs, so they can get somebody in the 3rd round, 4th round, maybe even 5th round, which is where they got Huff. So but the offensive linemen, literally, I think after the third round, it's more than likely a lot of those guys are going to have to kind of redshirt.
But
And I think that right now,
you just bring up an interesting point, though. The cornerbacks, the premium stock this year is going to be your offensive lineman because everybody's concerned with having to try to deal with the NFL defensive lines and such. Now, the shift now is get me an offensive lineman that can keep my quarterback from having to take out extra insurance policies. So that
exactly. And here's the important thing: think about that too. Defensive lineman, which is where they build from primarily, right?
Yeah.
The biggest problem that the 49ers have on our team right now is Bosa, and more specifically, the holding of Bosa.
Yes.
They hold him and they don't call it. It happens in every game practically, including playoff and championship games.
Especially.
I can't tell you how he was held in the Super Bowl constantly. So if they're not going to call, and again, I know referees, and you know what the referees' philosophies are?
What?
Keep their flag in your damn pocket.
Oh, I've heard them say that too. That's why they wouldn't call.
You've heard it, haven't you?
I've heard. That's why the one ref said, if we threw the flag on the Hawks, we'd be throwing it on every play. What?
Yeah.
You got,
and the coaches that play to that effect, like Pete Carroll's little slimy ass will sit there and say, "Hey, hold them all the way down the field." They're going to do holding all the way down the field
because he knows what they think, how they think.
Exactly, and I think that's ultimately important. So if you have a $100 million defensive line and they're getting held every play in the Super Bowl, to me that's money wasted. So that's why I keep echoing the fact that if you have 2 starting quarterbacks, you have none. If you have 3 starting quarterbacks, you have almost less than none. And
Bob,
it's the reality.
It is. Bob, always great points, but I tell you, let's get back. Let's continue Sunday.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just a shout out to whoever keeps chiming in on me, messing with me, and shout out to you, Ronbo.
That is. Yeah, they just come in.
Can't tell you how much I love you, Ronbo, and love your show.
Oh, shucks,
I love all of the faithful,
mutual,
and especially Ashy Phil. I love, big shout out to, anybody out there hurt, man, because of this regime's crazy, very interesting way of doing business. Shout out to you, because, like I said, I've seen 5 Super Bowls. I know you haven't, and I know it just sucks. So hang in there. If their way works, it works. But if it doesn't, then, you might want to stop buying them season tickets, Phil, until they make some changes. But they're a long way from that. We are on a course where we're going to do this defense first, like they used to do it back in the 90s, and we'll see what happens. And
we're going to get it.
We'll go from there.
I'm telling you.
It's possible. It's possible. I want to see it happen. Make no mistake about it. When the game is on, I don't care who's playing quarterback. I'm rooting for them. I am pulling for them because I'm a 49er fan. So stop all this divisive talk about hating this person, hating that person. I want this person to start. It doesn't matter. We don't control that. Support your team, voice your opinion, and go on. Just go on from there. But like I said, we'll see what happens.
All right, Bob. Give my best to the best of the Dragon Clan. I see you Sunday, fam.
Yeah, let's get those likes and subscribes up, folks. Let's go.
Thanks, Bob. All right. Good night, Papa.
Later.
And that's it. There's no name there, but it's 49 Brian. I'm the big 50 today. Oh, 49's having his B-Day today. I have 49th birthday shout out. We are going to dominate this year and get number 6 for 49er Brian over. Oh, happy Niners birthday to Brian. Wait a minute, Brian. I gotta get that thing. A little too much cheese in that pizza, starting to contribute to phlegm. Happy Niners birthday, Brian. Happy Brian, for you and every birthday baby of 2023. This is the year. No, we miss it because by the time the Super Bowl comes, it'll be 2024. Huh? Brad, it's okay. It's a carryover. You will be celebrating that Lombardi this year. Holding up, saying things like, hey, Ronbo said way back in March, April, we were going to do this. We got it. Oh, my God. Happy birthday, Brian. And thanks for that contribution. Where? I don't even have to say, you can tell by the sighing, the display of frustration, the angst, the obvious frustration. It's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Show.
What's up, Ronbo?
So you know what's up, man. We're looking forward again at the doorway of success. Can we please get in this time? Show. What are you thinking here?
That's not going to happen until we find the 10-year answer at quarterback. So,
but let me ask you this question though: you probably don't have a problem getting rid of Brandon Ayuk for a first-round pick from the Giants, do you?
Oh, absolutely not. And if we pull off that miracle, I want us to draft the kid from Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt, who is an excellent route runner, just like Brandon Ayuk is, and is a 4-3 guy who stretches the field.
Now you got my attention on that. Now, see, can he catch?
He can catch, and he runs a full route tree.
I wonder if he can block. Because we got a kid like that.
That's a negative thing for him, though. Is I don't know if he can block or not. I think it's the size.
Kyle makes that a prerequisite.
Right there is an issue.
So you know what I wish Kyle would do, though? Have wide receivers fill out a form, though, that says, and you must block.
I'm tired of our wide receivers blocking more than actually catching, so that's becoming really annoying, too.
So you need him to block.
That needs
we got
to
to
end.
run.
That needs to end. That's when you know that your offensive line is a problem, is if you need your wide receivers to block. I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers blocking a ton.
The thing is,
they allowed 0 sacks in the Super Bowl. Their offensive line.
Your corners can get around that corner faster than your offensive lineman, unfortunately. And
that's where our philosophy needs to remain focused on this offensive line. With all due respect to Tony, from Wyatt's, where I disagree with him, we don't need to be drafting more corners this year. We drafted plenty of corners the past 2 years with Samuel Womack, Diamond Thomas, Jamador Lore. We signed Shavarius Ward. We just brought in and signed Isaiah Oliver. We're good at corner. We need to focus and shift. We need to shift our focus on offensive line, and that's what's getting our quarterbacks killed every single year. And we're going to end up in the same boat again this coming year if we don't address our offensive line. And that's the god-awful truth.
Well, yeah, but but think about this in a 4-minute show. Our offensive line isn't one of the worst in the league. It's in the top tier.
From center on right, it is the worst in the league.
Well,
I mean,
Brindle.
That's where the floodgates are open, right there.
Yeah, Brindle. But we got rid of McGlinchey. I don't know what's going to happen with McKivitz, but he does protect well. And then, of course, the right guard. I think you should rethink that a little bit. The right guard.
No,
Burford's
I am
not bad.
rethinking that at all. No, after I've seen what the Chiefs did, no.
And it takes offensive linemen a little while to grow into the NFL when they come out of there because they're playing against grown men as opposed to what they were playing.
4 to 5 weeks in the regular season.
Well, the thing is, they're playing against big, strong guys. They're grown men now. They're playing with college kids in school, so they got to get into the NFL program. They got to bulk up. They got to get stronger. They got to build up endurance. All those things, skills-wise, that has to be there already. But a defensive lineman that's been around for a while is going to knock a rookie on his butt most of the time, unless it's Quentin Nelson.
That's where I'm shifting my focus to this year on the draft. After what we've seen in free agency this year, we drafted a defensive tackle to replace Javon Kinlaw, and we need a defensive tackle to rush up the middle. I think they saw that worked out really well for Philadelphia, and exactly why we signed Hargraves to be that rush up the middle and Nick rushing on the outside.
God, that's going to be fun. Oh my God, it's gonna be fun to
Nick
watch.
Nick is our Hassan Reddick, and we now have Javon Hargraves.
And I think I
So
think Nick's a little better than Reddick, and Hargraves is just
oh yeah,
ridiculous.
most
So
definitely.
this is gonna be interesting.
And
Woo!
now we need to find a legit right tackle in the draft this year. And if we do end up training IU, we can pull off that miracle. And Paris Johnson is there. We need to draft Paris Johnson with
You,
that pick right there.
you got to give our boy Drake Jackson a little bit of give him a minute. He he wimped out on us last year, but he knows to get ready this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what he looks like too.
I am too. So our defense is not the focus of our draft this year. I think it's going to be the offensive line and adding a couple of pieces to compete with Denny Gray and Tay Martin, because there are a lot better wide receivers in the draft this year than those two who are holding on to the final two.
Danny Gray and who else?
Wide receiver, Tay Martin.
We have a guy named Tay Martin on this team.
From Washington State.
Did he see any action?
He was a receiver for Washington State. You were the one who compared him, or somebody compared him to Kendrick Bourne the last time we talked about him.
Wait. Did he play for us last year?
No, he was on the practice.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Tay Martin, and I thought you mentioned him with Gray as being on the roster. Okay. Yeah, I'll take another Kendrick. I like. You know what though? I got to tell you, it's gonna be tough to beat out Jawan Jennings.
The spot that nobody is talking about the most that would actually be the killer of our playoff hopes this year is our kicker. Because if we're 3 points down, a game away from the playoff spot, and we lose because of our kicker, I'm
gonna pass out.
That's another issue nobody's talking about.
I'm really
of how important that piece is.
Especially if we lose a game like that.
And Zane Gonzalez is not that great.
And I know.
Just an FYI.
Well, yeah, he's not healthy most of the time, from what I understand.
Yeah, and he's very inaccurate at times.
Yeah, he's inconsistent.
He gets iced a lot.
Robbie was never appreciated as much by us as he should have been. Now, I never complained about Robbie. I didn't want him in there on the kickoff tackling people. I used to get pissed off with the rest of the guys. But as far as Robbie being a kicker, come on. I don't care if he's 45. He's still getting that ball between there when he has to.
Our quarterback room is an issue, yes, but that can also be our Achilles heel this year too. It's our kicker position.
Look at the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe nobody's talking about how important and that position right now.
You know what people are saying, Show?
That's
you've ran across them too. We're going to score a lot of points this year. We don't need a kicker. What? Oh my God! What? Oh, it doesn't work like that. So
no,
we
doesn't.
Need a kicker.
Yeah, big time.
So,
and I have us drafting Jake Moody. So
yeah, everybody likes him. I saw a couple of clips of him. He does look like he knows what he's doing. So
yeah.
Cowboys going to try to draft him first.
I wish there was another Justin Tucker out there. And
those only come around once in a while. Robbie's, your Goals, your Tuckers. There's a couple more around the league. The guy that used to be good in Green Bay. Those guys they're generational, actually. They just don't get enough noise about it because they're kickers.
So that's going to be our Achilles heel this year, I think, is our kicker. I mean, if we don't draft one this year and we stick with Zane. But I think they're going to draft Jake Moody or Christian Dunn out of North Carolina State and have them compete against Zane, because Zane's contract he has no guaranteed money, and we just basically swapped 7th-round picks, and that was it.
And what was it, a conditional 2025, 26 pick or something like that? So what? What is that? Just a swap? Because that's not going to happen. You guys just traded bodies. And Lynch doesn't sound serious about him either.
Also, my last point, Ronbo. 2 positions we also need to focus on is finding Trent Williams' eventual replacement. I think that should be our 99th pick, because I'm sorry, with all due respect to Jalen Moore and Colton McKivitz, they're garbage. They're not as good as Trent Williams, and they're not going to be his replacement, I don't think. But we need to find a legit replacement for Trent Williams to sit behind him for a year and develop, because I don't think Trent Williams has very long with us much more. He contemplated retirement this year.
2 years max. Yeah.
And I think he's going to do it again after this year, especially with our cornerback conundrum. Kicker conundrum. He's definitely going to contemplate it again after this year if they don't get that room straightened out. And also, we need to find George Kittle's eventual replacement because he's not getting any younger. So
and he's liable for at least 2 to 3 games a year.
Corner is not a need. Corner is not a need this year. You need to start looking for the eventual replacements of these guys because their window is coming up to a close very soon.
Well, so as usual, painfully depressing but entertaining.
Truthful.
It is truthful. No, I love your honesty.
Anyways, shout out to Papa Dragon. Shout out to Tony from Down Under. Also, we need to hear more from Vader. I miss Vader calling in.
Yeah, he's probably tied up doing something because he
calls in more.
Yeah, he loves to get in here, so he's
shout out
probably
to
busy.
America's favorite couple, Donut and T, and also the TNT family if they still exist. So.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you what, Joe.
All right,
always,
man. You have a great night.
pleasure.
I love
you
this
too.
time of year. It's like Christmas all over again.
I know. Because we're going shopping.
Yeah, I know, for real. All right. Ciao, everyone. Y'all take care. Have a good night.
All right, Joe. And let's go check in on Texas Bill, who has no love whatsoever for Texas products other than that great beef. Am I right, Bill?
Yeah, and some good old steak.
Yeah, they got them steaks that live up to that Texas reputation of being big. God, I'm watching film on the roadhouses. I say, my God, if you can eat it all, you ain't got to pay for it. Oh yeah? Go ahead, lay it down there. I'd love to take that challenge. Bill, what are you thinking, Bill? Because, here comes the draft. The 49ers can actually get the best players available. I said best player available regardless of the position, but a lot of people think best player at position, which makes it pretty much the same as always. Because, we usually pick guys up that fit our scheme.
Some good linemen, some good defensive players, and I'm keep reading in, and I'm really concerned. Are they really trading Brandon Ayuk away?
If I had to bet on it, no.
Supposedly Brandon Ayuk's being traded to the Chiefs.
What would the Chiefs give us in return? First round pick?
2 or 3 first rounds, according to the rumors.
Well, not 2 or 3, right? Because they got plenty of receivers. Well, no, they lost one.
They lost a bunch of receivers. And Brandon Ayuk would be the missing piece for them to supposedly go back to the Super Bowl, which that's not happening. I'm going to make this clear. We're not getting Lamar Jackson. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's trying to woo Tom Brady to come, so he's staying in retirement.
Well, Bill, newsflash on Brady, though. Brady he's thought about the Raiders from what the rumors are flying now.
No, he ain't going to the Raiders. They got Jimmy Garoppolo now.
Well, you know how he feels about Jimmy, so he's going to go on over there and say, "Hey, pal, you ready to compete?" Because Josh McDaniels over there. That's his coach.
I mean, unless Brady called and he turned him down, and that would have been a stupid thing. That would be if we had a bad year. Then I can pretty much almost bet if Tom Brady was willing to come to the Niners and Kyle didn't take him, Kyle, if he does not win a Super Bowl this year, would be immediately fired. I could guarantee you that would be a fireable offense.
Bill, I hate to, you know what? I just want to say this about that. Bill, as long as the 49ers are competing, Kyle Shanahan's not losing that job. I keep saying, people think if we're not winning the Super Bowl, that's grounds for being fired. It's not going to happen. If you're getting to the playoffs and competing hard.
Compete. Yeah, but what if we only win 4 games, Ronbo, this year? What if we only win 4 games?
That's grounds for dismissal. But when you're winning double digits and getting into the playoffs 3 out of 4 years, that coach is not going to get fired.
I mean, and the fact that losing quarterbacks ain't going to be an excuse, because if you had a chance to get Tom Brady and he didn't pick him up, that's fireable offense. I mean, I get we got I get we got Trey Lance. I get we got Sam Darnold. But how many quarterbacks do we have in the NFC Championship?
we had one, and he got killed. And Josh Johnson, I'm not sure what he represents, but
we don't even count John Johnson as the quarterback. He's a water boy, holding water for all the people on the sideline. We don't put the water boy on the field. I'm sorry.
He's out there. He's down collecting for unemployment now. But we're gonna. Brady's not. I don't know if he's serious. Tom's on his way to the booth and kicking back and relax so he can ridicule every
I'll
team.
tell you what, Tom not winning the Super Bowl, going his way to the booth, who's going to remember him? Win 7 Super Bowls, somebody will break that down the road. You know, I ain't worried about that, okay? It's just Tom Brady. People don't even like him. But if he finished the story in San Francisco winning the Super Bowl, that's where the story would be hot. He could go into the booth and say he did his, it'd be like he won his dream. He played for his dream team and won the Super Bowl. That would be the ratings. But see, we know the commissioner, Roger Goodell's stupid, so he ain't going to let that happen. So anyways, with that being said, we need O-linemen, we need cornerbacks, and maybe a quarterback.
Bill, you feel we need a cornerback as well, huh? I mean, we need corners?
We need corners. We lost a few good pieces. We need corners. We need a cornerback and lineman and a quarterback. That's what we need is a quarterback.
Bill, I can assure you they're going to get a quarterback, and I can also assure you they're going to get a running back, even though I really wish they would stop it with the running backs, but they're going to.
They could get them on unrestricted. They'll be
right?
ones they miss.
Don't be using no picks.
You know what? It's better not to draft for a running back because our running backs that we got that were good, like Mosters and a few others I can't even think, Coleman, I think we're unrestricted free agents. Was I wrong or right?
No, Coleman, and even this last year, the kid that was coming in, he beat out the kid we drafted in the 3rd round. So Jordan Mason is probably going to get more playing time this year than TDP.
Right. So why do we go? We don't need to draft a quarterback, a running back. We need to concentrate on linemen, cornerback, and a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to concentrate on a running back, and we need to keep Ayuk. We need to not worry about wide receivers. I don't care.
No, I like our wide receiver room. We got yin and yang all over that offensive wide receiver room. Yeah.
Right. So what we need to concentrate mainly is, like I said, the lineman, the cornerback, and the quarterback. Make sure we get a quarterback drafted, and please sign a restricted free agent quarterback as well. Make sure that we get enough quarterbacks, so we don't have an excuse.
Yeah. Bill, it's going to be funny.
NFC Championship.
The 49ers are going to have a record 6 QBs, and people are going to be saying, what are the 49ers doing? 49ers are never going to go into a serious situation anymore where they've only got one quarterback. That's just the bottom line. Bill, we're going to go.
Hey, give me a 49ers shout-out, and just wanted to address the fact that we're not getting Lamar Jackson and that Tom Brady is staying in retirement, and if he does come out, it won't be the Raiders. I promise you that. Give me a 49ers shout-out.
Big Bill. A great night, Bill. Keep them Cowboys in line, too. All right. Talk to you later.
Oh, they're still hurt. Still hurt.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Put some salt on them wounds. All right, Bill. See you Sunday.
I do every day.
And let's check out on Levi. Hey, Levi.
Yo, Ronbo, what's going on?
Levi, man, we're looking at soon to be some new 49er faces coming into camp. And usually we may see something that we can't even believe. The 49ers are going to pick up a player. We're going to say, why did we pick up that position for? As that was the best player available. Yeah. All right. He could beat somebody out. We just keep right on moving. You know, it's unrealistic. And many teams do that anymore. But it would be nice to get that bad man at number 3, the first 3rd round pick. But Levi, are you potato chips?
No.
Okay. Well, it stopped. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, you're working.
Yeah. Put something on the shelf.
All right. Anyway, Levi, go ahead, man, because let me hear what your thoughts are on the potential for trading Brandon Ayuk for a 1st round pick. A lot of people want to see
We're
that.
going
Too.
to trade him. We want to trade him for a first round pick.
A lot of people. And say, we could trade Brandon, now you get a first round pick and pick up OBJ. I said, boy, what the hell's wrong with you?
Pick up OBJ.
OBJ?
OBJ.
Oh.
Don't. I guess people would say that, hey, the 49ers do like players to get injured a lot. So
And
maybe
OBJ
he would
is
fit
one of the
in.
worst now. Yeah. Oh, no.
So we should just continue to trade away our healthy players for like unhealthy players.
It's not going to happen. Not going to
Just
happen.
like we did with DeForest Buckner. Got rid of healthy Buckner and got unhealthy Javon Kinlaw.
Well, you know, none of us in our lifetimes who saw this happen are ever going to forget that. Javon Kinlaw, DeForest Buckner, a model when it comes to staying healthy. Does a great job, draws double teams. He's out there every week. And we pick up Javon Kinlaw. We've seen him play what? How many games so far? 8, 9, maybe?
Yep.
And he wasn't doing that good. He's okay,
Yeah.
but nothing unusual. Levi, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Hey, man, I don't know what to think, man. This draft, I hear people talking about offensive linemen and corner and all this other stuff. I mean, the 49ers are going to do what they probably do every year.
Which
Gonna
is?
focus on the defensive side of the ball. They might draft a running back, third or fifth round or something.
Running? Did you say running
Like,
back?
I don't know what to.
Yeah,
They
I
probably
would bet
will,
money on
I
that.
mean.
Yeah.
They're somewhere, probably. Even though we really don't need a running back.
Just don't get a third round running back this year, John. Please. You're not going to use him anyway.
I don't think we'll get one this year because right now the third round is our highest round. So
That's why I'm talking. I don't need a running
there's
back
a
in the
higher
third
chance
round.
I guess a couple of third rounders. So I guess no.
Who would you take? Can you think of
They
anybody
probably
offhand?
know that they'll probably get a defensive lineman as their first pick because it's going to be one of their favorite things.
He better be. He better be an edge rusher then, because the interior's got lots
People
of
say
guys.
quarterback, but I don't know who you can get at quarterback. They're like, who is out there?
It'll be
And
another.
even
it'll
the
be
draft, I
another
don't know if anybody there is going to be that great, and if
Well,
they
yeah.
are, they probably won't be taken early.
Did you know who Brock Purdy was before he came to San Francisco?
Hello?
Did you know who Brock Purdy was before he came to San Francisco?
You said that I know who Brock Purdy was before he came to San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, but
Did you?
I also saw how his story ended.
I know, but I'm
Like,
just saying.
same.
My point is, I didn't know what a Brock Purdy was until he was drafted in the last spot on the draft board. So that's why I'm saying when it comes to quarterbacks, God knows who they are and how their game translates to the NFL. That's a tough call.
Yeah. So, I mean, how can I feel super confident when it's a hard call if someone's going to work out or not?
I mean, you got first-round draft picks that are out of the league already, you know?
And, Brock Purdy was good, but, man, he got hurt. And maybe I still won't be able to let go of how easy he got hurt. And I'm like, oh, my God, we're going to have the same issue. I know he got injured early, but he kind of was not bad enough. He couldn't play through it, but
Well, there's no way around that. This game, guys are going to get hurt. We have a percentage of our guys every single year that have to go down, and there's just no escape. And it usually consists of the quarterback being in that group. It's amazing every year.
look, this time the quarterback couldn't even really play. Got out there, but he won't play quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to say, Ronbo. It's gonna be to me right now. It's sort of a rough year unless something crazy happens. And I know some other caller made another good point about kicker. Like, what we gonna do at kicker? Like, a lot of the games we had came down to a nice kick.
The kicker is involved in every game, even if it's not the end of the game. Those 3 points he puts up, we just couldn't get that first down, and he puts through 3. Those are important points. We're not so good that we're never gonna not convert first down, or we're going to. I see people, No, it doesn't work like that. We're going to score lots of points. No, you don't. You need a kicker. Ah.
Yeah. I don't want to end up like the Cowboys and crying about the kicker all the time. But why can't we get somebody to kick?
You know, those are always a shot in the dark. Some of the greatest kickers in college football failed in the NFL. So it's all about the pressure, what he can take. Because I know Robbie used to do a blunt before every game. That dude was way too calm. Way too calm.
Yeah.
That's why I want him back, though. Robbie, boy, get him.
Yes, I don't know if it was he wanted too much money and before then it's like didn't want to invest. So he decided to walk. I'm thinking that must be or probably it.
With Robbie? No.
Yeah,
Robbie's
I'm trying
waiting
to
for
figure
somebody to
out
offer
why
him
they.
something more than the 49ers with. That's why nobody's doing that so far. And if I was the Dallas Cowboys, I'd do anything I could to keep Robbie Gould away from the 49ers because they need a kicker. And if we play the Cowboys again and Robbie's on the team and it comes down to 3-6 points, we're winning that game because of Robbie.
I don't know, man. He might go to the, if he does go to Cowboy, he might get those Cowboy jitters. Might not be as good as gold no more.
Yeah, that's it. It's his DNA. Robbie's not going to get scared. That boy has got that's confidence I've never seen before in any ball player at any position. He is amazing.
Well, so we got a lot of holes, Ronbo, and this is probably the least confident I have in the Kyle Shanahan regimen. Because before it's like, okay, we got a great chance. This one, so maybe this will be reversed. Now that I'm pretty hopeless about this season,
Levi,
maybe something will come together.
Because we're going to run out of time.
Maybe,
real quick,
will be healthy enough.
Yeah, Levi, I just have one question, though.
Yeah.
A lot of holes?
You said a lot of holes?
You said a lot of holes. You said we have a lot of holes.
I mean, when I say holes, I mean, basically I don't really see a win this year. Like before, I always like had that element of a Super Bowl aspiration. This year, I feel like almost no aspiration for a Super Bowl. I feel like this is going to be a bad year for my clients. As all your 49ers haters are going to be like, yeah, man, time to get rid of Kyle Shanahan and find somebody else.
Kyle's, I keep telling people, I listen to him, but Kyle's not going anywhere as long as the 49ers continue to compete. That's all you can ask for. What happens in the playoffs is the playoffs. You need to get to the playoffs first for anything to happen. So that's why Kyle's not going anywhere until he has a 2-15 season or 3-14. You got to lose before you get fired. But we'll see what happens this year. Don't listen to Big Show. We're winning.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I rarely listen to the other people. I respect some of them sometimes, but some of their takes be a little bit too much, a little too emotional.
I'm just kidding about Show.
Some of them just like, hey, man, I'm a 49er fan, but I almost don't like nothing they do.
Levi,
we make it back to work. Playoffs, and I still don't like them.
We got to go, Levi. I'll see you Sunday.
All right, Ronbo, you have a great one, man, and remember, 49ers all day, all the time, man.
All night, all afternoon, brunch.
All right.
All right, fam. Night, Levi.
All right. Bye.
Hey, yo, Elvis. Come in, Ellis. Ellis is probably going to say, can he come back? Ellis will come back.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's ready. All right. Come on in, Ellis.
What's up, man?
So we're looking at that draft because we're getting ready to get into it, and I'm getting excited because every year we watch the best player available go to another team, and the thing is though, when we're that far down in the third round, we may as well be in the fourth round, and I don't know what we're going to get, but it will be the best that can be had. I'm thinking. So, Ellis, are you on that same page? And also this madness about Brandon Ayuk and John Lynch, his dimples drop all the way to the middle of his face when he starts talking about Ayuk in that interview. I said, John, John, stop. John, you do better just not say nothing. No, we feel strongly about Brandon Ayuk, and we like what we see in him going forward. There's really no thoughts toward moving him. John, yeah, there is. You guys already said you trade each other, you and John, if a better deal could be made. Maybe these guys would trade their mom if they could, if it would help.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a piece on the chessboard. He's a valuable piece at that. And if Brandon Ayuk is disgruntled enough to where he doesn't want to sign, and he wants his money now, then that puts us in a position where we may not have a choice because we're not willing to extend him just yet. So
Ellis,
I don't know. It makes it hard for.
But do you know not if Brandon Ayuk were to, if he sits down in the middle of his contract's not over, he's still got a 4th year left on his contract. I've always wondered about guys saying, I ain't playing then. Okay, well, you sit your ass down and don't look for no money, though. Is that it? Can they sue? How does that work?
What do you mean as far as if they decide to, sit him down and not let him play at all if he don't want to sign?
No. He says, okay, we're not going to talk about a deal because I thought Debo was contemplating that thought last year. Well, listen, if we don't have a deal, I ain't playing because I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get hurt, and then y'all go act like we never talked. A football player, I understand their position on that, but I've always wanted the legality involved. If I tell you, and I got another year left of my contract, even with a 5th-year option, I'm a first-round pick, and I say I'm not playing this year, what are you going to do? Is there any legal thing you can do?
Shit, I don't know. I couldn't answer that question, but I could see.
Anybody in chat know the answer to that? Let me know. I'm curious. Can you sit down?
We could get more. I don't know.
They can't do that. They get fined, Ronbo.
They get fined.
That's why Debo could do that. He just talks just to get it going. You can't do that. He will get fined. If he says, I'm not going to play, he's going to get fined and lose money. So
Ellis,
it'd be dumb on his part to even think about doing that.
Emilio's right. Thanks, Emilio. They get fined for coming into camp late.
Similar to what was going to happen with Debo last year too. I feel like I remember hearing something about Debo getting
you
fined
can't just
X amount of thousands of dollars, like a lot too, to where shit. If you do that a couple of times, you getting already to a mill, quickly before the season even started. I think if he stopped going,
Ellis.
if he didn't attend practices and stuff like that early on, if I'm not mistaken.
I bet they got the math.
Fines would already kicked in.
Exactly, and I bet they got the math all figured out. If you sit out the whole entire season, it will add up to your entire salary, and you're going to be fined at a level that the math is going to work out that you lose an entire salary. That's the way that works.
Yeah. Well, it would behoove Brand to option pickup, and at the end of the day, him not getting paid by us this year doesn't mean anything, because if he goes and he had balls out, then all of the, everything is in his he's in control of his destiny at that point, and he can really get the amount of money that he's deserved of, and it would have been for something and not for nothing. Actually been really worked. He would have worked for it and would have earned his keep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and for us, like, that gives us, if I'm not mistaken, if we pick up the 5th-year option, we get him for another year, he's guaranteed X amount. He gets whatever his salary is this year, and then it would be his 5th year, which would be after this coming season, he would be entitled to, 14 or 15 million or something on the cap.
That's the number I remember, somewhere in there. Yeah.
So then look, if he increases his value at that point, he balls out this season, let's just say hypothetically, he increases his value, and then he's an even greater trade piece. Then we could actually get something in the first, within the first maybe, 10 to 15, you know what I'm saying, minimum, as far as draft compensation, if we decide not to pay him, which I don't see us doing that, because, he's going to want a lot of money, and I get it. And somebody will be willing to pay that. If he's only $14 million or something on their cap, they can restructure or renegotiate, the 5th-year option and give him more of a long-term contract, and he can get more money of what he would like, and is willing to accept. with a team that's willing to pay it, and then we get some draft compensation in the process, so both sides are happy. I mean, that
that's
sounds.
an option. If you don't franchise tag them, yeah, that's an option.
Yeah, if we decide not to do that, but I mean, it would be best for us. We didn't do it with Debo. We didn't ship Debo out. Brandon's been more healthy than Debo has, and we didn't play like that with Debo. So I don't think we're going to do that with Brandon. We're either going to trade him, not now, but after this season, or they're going to find a way to pay him. But that would mean that there would have to be some other players that would be off the books, or it would have to be a mass restructure type situation going on. So I don't think we're going to be doing that, because we're not trying to look like, Rudy and the Lambs.
You know what?
So
that demonstration last year with Debo was good, because the 49ers ignored Debo the whole time, and then when they got ready to pay, they paid. I think Ayuk, and Nick's not saying a word. That's how you do that. The 49ers did the right thing with Debo. I was scared to death last year. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't care what anybody says. I like Debo, and I really need him on this team. So the 49ers said, man, pay him no mind. We'll pay him in a minute. He ain't going nowhere, and they were right.
Yeah, I couldn't picture Debo wearing, in another uniform. That would have been kind of crazy.
And I need
that would have been kind of crazy to look at.
That boy's a game changer. He may not be the best route runner in the world and everything, but you know what? Give him the ball and get out the way. My God, I love it when he runs that ball.
Yeah, and Brandon's a really good wide receiver, man. Like he's not mediocre at all by any stretch of the imagination, and he's actually going to ascend and continue to get better and better.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why it would be good for us to keep him one more season, let him ball out again, and then that would just great. That would grow his grow his worth and what we could get in a
Ellis, but make sure you draft somebody that's somewhere near as good though, so it'd be cheaper. That's always the ideal. You bring somebody in to replace that stud who's about to go get paid. Because quite frankly, as I've said, I don't know how many more big contracts the 49ers can actually stand. Because we got a number of them now. There's a couple of them got to expire here soon.
Right. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If we get a first-round draft pick for him, we're not going to accept anything less than a first-round draft pick for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get that. We got him in the first round. When we got him a couple years ago. But I'm just saying, we get him like a top 10 or 15 pick for him after this season when he balls out again. We're speaking that into existence because he wants to get that money. We're not going to give him that contract right now. But we are going to pick up your fifth-year option. If he doesn't sign it, he knows that messes with his pocket. So right now we're in control. He's not in control.
And nobody wants to disgruntled player.
We got to take advantage of that while we can.
Yeah. So that's why Lamar wasn't going anywhere. There's a lot of players running around. Some of the players down through the years we've seen just great ball players, but they couldn't sign anywhere immediately. Aaron Rodgers is the exception to that rule. He had people begging him to come on over. But normally players who behave like that usually have trouble trying to sign, unless it is a quarterback. Quarterbacks usually do get signed if they're good. But everybody else, every other position, all start crying and whining. You can just, go ahead. So, anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to get what you want anyway. But, yeah, so we're going to be all right. We definitely got to stock up on the offensive line in the draft. I think it's being set up pretty nice where we can get our pickings. And the last thing before I go, what the benefit of us being in the third round and on is that those contracts, those players are going to be a lot more cheaper and a lot more, feasible for us to maintain, instead of us having a bunch of first and second round picks that cost a little bit more. And then in a few years, let's say those guys are going to cost even a bit more, especially if they're exceptional, So with the third, fourth, and on, we get some great picks. That's better for us. More financially.
That's the science. That's how you want to do it, ideally.
Anyway.
All right, fam.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to that
Yes,
squad.
sir.
I'll see you Sunday.
I appreciate it, fam. Johnny got her third softball game tomorrow. They're 2-0 right now, so we'll go check her out in the morning. I'll let you know.
All right.
I'll let you know what the score is on Sunday.
All right. Looking forward to that.
Thanks a lot, man. Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you. Hit that like, subscribe, man. Man. Let's win them subscribers up, man. Get a lot of people that come in here, man. If you got love for the platform, man, at least subscribe to the channel and hit those likes while you at it.
Thanks, Ellis.
For life. Yes, sir. Peace.
And so check in with Break. Hey, Break.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing, bro?
Hey, Break, doing all right, man. It's off season. It's comfortable, relaxing. I'm not pissed off because we just lost the game or anything like that. I love that, man. This is a fun time of year. The only thing I wish is things were just a little more normalized. I'd like to have a first-round pick because I look forward to the draft every year. It's exciting to me. It's almost near exciting as a Super Bowl because, you never know what you're going to get in the draft and how it's going to impact your team. That's a real exciting thing. So no pick last year, no pick this year. And, next year, that's a long time away. So, but you know what, Break? The guys do so well from the third round on. Yeah, might as well. It doesn't matter for us. Not really. But, Break, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
About the Ayuk deal?
Well, we've talked about that with the draft a couple times before, and I've always said, man, just trade away your first and second and get your third, fifth round picks because we seem to hit on those. I don't know what it is about them, but we do well from the third round on.
And we can't draft in the first and second round. That's strange.
Yeah, so there's no guarantees in anything. So when you really stop and think about it, unless you're some guaranteed blue chipper, once in a lifetime guy, who cares if you got a third round pick versus a first and second? I mean, our team is set to win right now. So what a first rounder, I don't know if anybody's going to break the starting lineup right now, anybody we draft. So we have a pretty set team. We're just building for the future with the draft picks. We're not really plugging in holes. Mm-hmm. So, but the Brandon Ayuk deal, I've been going over this with a bunch of friends. They're kind of torn, and I don't think it's even close. I think it's when you got a guy like Brandon Ayuk, you drafted him, you kind of molded him. He is what he is. He's a great receiver, could be an elite receiver. Why would you trade him for an unknown? Why give up somebody what you got for something that you really don't know what you're going to get? I mean, if you can get a first-round pick for him, and then what? What happens if that first-round pick doesn't do anything? Or what happens if he takes that first-round pick? Yeah, what if you get a receiver and he's not ready to develop for a couple years? I mean, we're not a throwing first team, so getting a receiver in the draft in the first round, trading Ayuk or something, I think that's a bad move. You got a guy guaranteed right now that's going to get you 1,000 yards. Hell, you can probably get you 1,500 if you focus him, if you feature him in the lineup. So
exactly,
why do that? He's probably not happy because he probably does want to get more touches. And you sit him down and say, look, we're going to pick up your 50 option. We're going to pay you like we do everybody else. Just wait your turn. That's all you got to do with this guy, man. But honestly, I kind of feel his pain too because he has been put to the ringer a little bit. Kyle's kind of drag his name through the mud a little bit,
and he did browbeat him a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and that probably rubbed him the wrong way. He doesn't seem like that. He's in that clique, with the, what do they call it, the Cancun boys or whatever they call it. He's not
Cabo.
quite in that. Cabo, there you go. So maybe he feels. Yeah, maybe he feels some type of way, but you just gotta tell him hey man, why would you want to get rid of that guy? I mean, you shouldn't. You shouldn't trade him. I don't think it makes sense. You're not going to get any guarantee back, and you already know what you got. Keep him. Let's ride with it. Let's draft some guys in the late rounds and see if we can get some Kittles and some Warners and a Fungus and stuff like that because they're out there. So,
and the 49ers know where they are, too. That scouting team is just really special. Break, here's the thing. There's not a lot of room for a lot of big contracts. Now, the 49ers are pretty much exhausted that. When they pay Nick, they're going to be filling out for a lot of pain. That's going to cost – Nick's going to be the highest paid defender in the league for at least a while. Right now, you got Ayuk saying, I need to renegotiate a contract. Guys, I don't feel like I need to wait. I need to play – we need to get to the table now. And you tell Brandon, I mean – players don't care about your problem. Yeah, and that's what you tell Brandon. That's all we do. Let's renegotiate this next year. Football players' lives could be in the NFL could be a little short. Break. That's why these guys think like that.
It's a double-edged sword, man. I get it. That's why I don't get mad at these players when they want their money. I understand. I mean, they can go out and get hurt and be done, and they never get to their second contract, and that's where the money's at, And it's kind of like it sucks but you also know that if you just stop and look, the Niners take care of their people. I mean, the only one exception was DeForest Buckner. And that one, I think, bit them in their butt a little bit. They probably know they messed that one up. But for the most part, and they didn't really do anything wrong. They tried. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look at everybody else. Their homegrown talent, they paid them.
Yeah.
So, what's to say that they're not going to pay him? And I get it, but I think you just ride with them, and I think you're going to, it'll all work out in the end. But I get it both ways, though, man.
It does. And, it's so funny because as fans, our first reaction, well, not mine, and probably not yours, a big percentage of us, though, oh, he's being greedy. He's a football player. He's a star. He needs to get paid.
Yep. This is the way I look at it. If you got to stop for a second and put the whole football, it's what we watch and we're entertained by. Put that to the side for a minute and think of it as a business, as that guy's job. And whatever you do, I don't know what you do for a living or the fans that are listening, but would you be mad at somebody that your coworker that wanted a raise, that was busting his butt better than the other guy next to him? Would you get mad if he asked for a raise or wanted to be taken care of?
Can't do it.
Stop and think about it for a minute. This is his livelihood. He wants a raise. He's all entitled to ask for one. And you know what? As the owners, they're entitled to tell him to wait. But you shouldn't get mad at a guy who wants to get his money, man. Everybody should want to get paid. That's
especially
crazy.
when one hit will take you out.
Exactly. So I'm all for keeping Brandon Ayuk. I mean, if you have to trade him, if he puts his feet in the dirt and it's one of those things where he wants to sit out, okay, then you kind of forcing their hand. I don't hope it doesn't get to that point because our team is ready to win every year. So I hope it doesn't get to that. I don't think it will, but God forbid it does. You can get something for him. I don't think it's going to come to that, and I think it'll be all right. But for the fans out there that are dogging him, and they did that with Debo and everything last year, I can't stand that, man. That's your team. You know what, man? Don't do that, man. Ride with your team, and it'll all work out in the end, man.
And root for him, just like you just said.
Exactly.
If it were you standing next to somebody who wanted to get his, why would you hate on him for that?
That's crazy, man. I want all my friends, all my buddies to succeed. I want them to do good. I'm not mad because my buddy makes $15 an hour more than me. That don't make me mad. That just makes me want to do better for myself.
Absolutely.
That's just part of it. You should be like that. So be like that with your team and root for them. Hope they get paid and hope that, everything works out. But I want to keep them. I want to keep this team is awesome. I love this team. It's so fun to watch. I don't want anything to happen. And with the quarterback situation, let that play out. Let's stop freaking out about that. There's really no way. It doesn't matter right now. There's nothing to fight about. Let's see what happens in camp and who gets first team reps. And hell, I don't even care if Sam Darnold's the freaking starter. I just want what's best for the team, man. It doesn't matter. Let's just go out there and put the best thing on the field, regardless of who it is, draft status, whatever. Let's just play and try to win and ride with your team, man.
And yes, and win. Break. We're gonna go and break. Great to hear from you, Break.
Right,
I know you're a busy guy. We get some break here and there. So I'll be back Sunday if you got time.
For sure. Good to talk to you, man.
Thanks, fam. Night. And there he is. The Big Show is putting on his business hat, and he said it be in the team's best interest to move on from Ayuk this year. We'd avoid any future fallout, relationships-wise, with Ayuk. Let's make him happy, find a wide receiver needy team, and have them pay. The only thing I worry about, and I've always had this thing about what you like to do, you can't always just throw your players away and expect to get the same thing in return. Now, you might get rid of him and you alleviate yourself of a problem, but now you've created a new problem because this guy comes in and he's butt cheeks. And now what? Now we got to get rid of him. No, he's on a rookie contract. He's dead cap. So you got to be careful about that, Show. If you got a good ball player, you got to try to hold on to him. Big Show also says if it comes down to paying Nick and Ayuk, you'd pay Nick. We will be fine without Ayuk. People need to relax. Wide receivers are Show. Yeah, wide receivers. How many years did it take us to build a wide receiver room? 2018, we started building that receiver room. We didn't have a wide receiver room until last year, basically. It took 4 or 5 years. That's a tough position to get adequate players. Rookies, second-tier ball players and things like that, they're a dime a dozen. But to get somebody who's actually good enough to carry a load, Ayuk might be that guy. Got to be careful with him. I don't know how they're going to do it. You ready for some Latino heat? Latino heat! Latino heat! Emilio! Thanks for clearing that thing up too, man.
If we let Big Show run the team, we wouldn't have nobody.
Show get wheeling and dealing.
Damn, dude, relax. You was right. Him and James just want to get rid of their own team. Fuck it, we might just get rid of Shannon and start from square one. Let the team know what they want. I'm
let's
like,
get rid of people, man. You can't get rid of everybody. Get somebody back that can't play.
You want to go back to them years when we didn't have a receiver?
Oh.
Literally, Ayuk is the best receiver we had. He's the only receiver we had.
With actual skills.
Man.
Debo's a bone crusher, but he's not a receiver.
He's not exactly. He's not that. He's not the route running receiver we had. Ayuk is the only one we have. You got Jennings that does his thing. F.I. starting Jawan. Mm-hmm. And then, Debo does what he does. And it's just,
they fit together. They're the perfect unit. And you got Ayuk, Debo, the bone crusher. You got Jawan, Mr. Clutch. And then you got Ayuk.
Yeah. Ayuk was the only one that played almost every single game last season. Like, dude, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
You just want to get rid of that man. Nah, you can keep Ayuk. I've heard what they said, that whole Chiefs thing. Yeah, they said Chiefs without they're 30. What is it? The last pick in the draft? That's not even worth what Ayuk is worth.
It's a second round pick.
I said, because I was listening to this podcast that talked about it. He was like, "That's not worth it. Just that first pick, the 32nd pick in the draft. That's not worth it. I need that, and next year's number 1, and next year's number 2." Mm. I'm like, he's not worth it. Ayuk is way too precious to this team.
And Emilio, if Andy Reid likes him, that's a bad sign trying to get rid of him.
No, that's exactly. You just trying to give him. You trying to make the Chiefs better. You want the Chiefs winning another 3-4 Super Bowls.
Get Ayuk.
That's exactly what they will do.
Yeah. No, I want to be Ayuk. I'll be doing that forever.
What you can do. No, you know what you can do is they're going to give him a 50 option. You can actually restructure that and make instead of the 14 million, you can restructure and give him an extension. And the 14 million it would go down maybe to $6 million a year, or $6 million his first year. Because you know how we always backload the contracts anyway.
Yeah.
So his first year would be cheap anyway with that 50 option, give him an extension and all that paying. So we would be able to keep Debo and Ayuk.
Wait a minute. It looks like Big Show wants to correct us as he says, I do not want to get rid of everyone. You all just get emotionally attached to players. From a business standpoint, you can't pay everyone. Patriots do it every year.
Oh, no. Hey,
Jackson, exactly.
You know me. I'm quick to get rid of somebody. I don't get rid
of right. Emilio get rid of people in a heartbeat. Yeah, Emilio,
that's not true.
You got to be careful about it. You don't get rid of your blue chippers and the guys that are really having a huge impact on what you do, though. I agree on getting rid of people that are just running around grumbling and ain't doing nothing. And there's not many of those.
I'm all for it if we get something for it, but at this point, there's really no reason to get rid of anybody.
Yeah, I need something equal. Ayuk doesn't.
We have at least 2 good fighting. The way our rush is built, man, we have at least 2 good fighting years to win the Super Bowl. Within these 2, maybe 3. If everything goes well.
Because they all affect each other. That wide receiver room, it's dots connected. They all work together to make each other effective. Ayuk he makes Debo's job easier. Debo and Ayuk make George Kittle's job easier. McCaffrey makes every damn body's job easier. This is good offense.
The other thing you got to think about, if we do let's say we do go with Big Show wanted to get rid of him, get the receiver he wants, you really think he's going to pan out? I'm like,
it'll take him 2 years.
Shanahan already had a problem with Ayuk his second year. So you really think that dude's not going to be in the doghouse? Yeah, dude. So you want to go back to that? Okay.
Or you got to go get another veteran.
We need to get rid of Shanahan. Shanahan should have never done that. He was the one, Big Show was promoting, what's his name? McCorkle, and McCorkle's crap. So come on, that's certain stuff you just don't want to promote. You don't want to go there.
Yeah, there's certain guys I'm just afraid to move because it will affect the team, and not in a good way. So yeah, I need to keep Brandon
Yeah,
on you.
like I said, I like Big Show. You know, sometimes he's informative, but sometimes
Nah,
he just
Show is
wilds out. Like,
he's
little too
cool.
far. Buddy, relax.
But Show will get rid of you in a
Relax.
heartbeat. He says he would get. He likes the Patriots model. The Patriots model said, if you need more money, maybe you need to go somewhere to find it because we don't have it.
Hey,
You know?
I'm gonna tell you this much. What have the Patriots done since Tom Brady left? Once I see them winning without Tom, then I'm with Show with that. But no, they haven't done anything since Tom.
I tell you.
Change with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that, but no, they haven't done nothing since Tom left. So, no,
Show
I'm
us
good
right
with
in
that.
this conversation with us too. He says KC got rid of the cheetah. No one cried.
No,
I don't know what to say to that.
Hey, he said the Patriot. He said Patriots. Now he wants to throw in a different team. Come on, now you can't do that.
But his point is, you could get rid of your stars and still
no, I
be
get
fine.
his point. I get his point. But he went from he wants to be the Patriots. Now he said the Chiefs. Now he's jumping around trying to find a case for his point. I see what he's doing. Nah, you can't do that, buddy. Sorry.
Hey, Show, we don't know. There might have been some crying. I know Patrick Mahomes wasn't happy about that. You know. Now, if you can hold on to certain ball players, you
What
do.
did he do? Hey, what did he? And you got to think of what did the Cheetah do on the Dolphins? So it's not shooting.
Hey, if what's his
He was
name when they
doing
got hurt, they
somewhat
would have had the
good.
best offense in the league. They were rolling.
Until they played us.
Yeah.
Yeah, until they played us, and then that offense became straight boo boo.
Ooh, they was tough.
So
I mean, because they had a
that's
two-headed
not
monster. What's that other kid's name? With quickness?
Waddle?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Waddle and
So you think about it. You want to get rid of
whoa.
this is what we have. We have Debo and we have Ayuk. Why would you want to get rid of that?
See, I don't separate that.
This is the first time. This is the first time in a long time since T.O. and Jay Rice and J.J. Watt we actually had a dual threat receiver. We haven't had that for years. So why would you want to mess that up? What you guys want? Like I said, you want to go back to square one?
That's why I said it took too long to build this offense.
Receivers being in the doghouse, not
wide receiver.
So
yeah.
that's what I don't want to do. This is the first time we actually do have a dual threat receivers. I don't want to just. Yeah.
So, Show, I'm going to be I'll vote. No. Let's not get so mad with Ayuk. We say goodbye. Let's see if we could get him to calm down and take a certain contract. Emilio, where's the money coming from, though? That's a good question. Where is the money?
No, like I said, no, because you give me a fifth year. They said, because I forgot, I can't remember the podcast I was listening to, because they brought out the scenario. Right? If you do give him a fifth year option, they said you can actually reconstruct that and give him an extension. And it breaks it down. I think it was like 3-4 years, and then that first year breaks it down to $6 million. So you would be cheaper, and you would be able to keep Devo and him at the same time, at least for another extra year. So instead of these 2 years coming up, you'd be able to have them for 3 years. So it was just
and the cap's going to expand,
which it made sense. No, and that was the other thing too. They said it's going to expand more next year. What is it, $28 more million or something? It was something that they said it was going to expand more. So
Okay.
the next couple of years,
you and I, we're getting outnumbered. Tony also says, Tony Nagatani, I love Ayuk, but if a team is going to overpay for him, I'd say deal him and let Kyle develop another wide receiver, but only if another team is going to overpay. Oh!
No, they
Tony,
can
wait, let's see what Big Show says here. He says, McCorkle had a DC Matt Patricia as an OC. You declined.
Now you see that everybody was finding excuses now all of a sudden.
And neither did I stand to be united. We're not getting rid of Ayuk. We're not doing it. God.
I don't want to go back to where we didn't have two receivers. I don't want to do that.
I don't either. It takes
last
too long
time we
to
had
develop.
that was T.O. and J.J. Watt, or T.O. and Jerry. You guys really want to go back to it?
Well, yeah, Jerry and Taylor. But you know, that doesn't happen.
Well,
it takes a
I'm just saying,
while.
the last time we had a double
With T.O. and Jerry, that's true.
A double threat T.O. Jerry and J.J. Watt.
That was
ridiculous. It's been a long time.
Woo! Jerry and T.O.
That's over 20. That's over 20 years.
And Taylor never did get enough love. Yeah, my God.
So, like I said, with the way Shanahan is, that receiver development is not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, I know.
He can't block. He can't do this. He doesn't run the right. He
There's
don't
a
want to do
prerequisite.
his own thing.
And Brandon does all that. He blocks.
He didn't. Like I said, And Shanahan didn't show that you don't do what I want as a receiver, you're not going to play. So
Danny Gray.
Yeah.
we got
So.
we got to roll. I'm looking for you Sunday. All right.
All right. Well, this is fun. I like this one. We're going back and forth with this one, but you know.
I know. Show throwing up notes. Show, thanks for the contributions, by the way, too. Show! All right, see you Sunday.
All right. You have a good night. You too.
You too. Because Brandon Ayuk, man, I like what he does. He helps take that top off that defense, not in a speedster way, but you have to account for him. If you go double teaming or sagging off of him to help out somebody else, he will burn you, even one-on-one. Man coverage, Brandon Ayuk will beat that man coverage. Hey, 49er O'Brien, the birthday boy, get in here.
Hey, who's 50 today?
It's 49er
Who's 50 today?
Brian, I just realized, didn't we celebrate your 49th birthday with a lot of noise since you're 49,
Yeah,
49 or 49, Brian? I remember that now, too.
I'm gonna start with some bigger noise. I'm gonna set out a challenge to Big Show. I will bet you $100 we are not trading Brandon Ayuk to anyone. Big Show, I know you're listening. Bet me, come on, $100, buddy. It's not happening.
And not
I don't want any more Brandon Ayuk talk. He's not going anywhere. He's our best player on offense by far.
Well,
by far,
he's the best receiver. But as far as tech skills,
yeah,
Brandon Ayuk's that's the best receiver. Debo does what Debo does.
Look how he opens up the field.
Oh,
look how he opens up the field, Ronbo.
And look at the guys he's embarrassed. On defense. Remember what's his name over in Dallas? What's his name? Stingley.
And Ramsey. God. Look what he did to Ramsey. Remember how he broke Ramsey's ankles? Oh my God. I'm tired of it. Brandon Ayuk is a 49er the next 2 years. Easily. And if anything, we get rid of Debo. I'm down with seeing Debo go bye-bye, but I'll be sad about that too. I like Debo.
I know. Can we get somebody else? Let's go to another player. I need Debo and Brandon Ayuk to work out there in tandem because Debo is like the Fantastic Four. You know the Thing, Ben Grimm. Comes there, it's clobbering time. Ben Grimm starts knocking people out. Meanwhile, Johnny Storm is flaming around, picking people off from the air.
Johnny Storm.
I mean, that's him. The Thing and what's it? Johnny Storm? What's his name? Yeah, it is his name. Johnny Storm. That is his name.
Yeah, Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
But do you have your flag there? Your penalty flag there?
Who am I throwing this flag on?
You're throwing it on Big Show. I'm tired of the negativity
yards.
from him. Yes. We're not trading Brandon Ayuk for nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my birthday. You got to be positive on my birthday show. Don't make me come over there.
He was positive. He's positive. He did appreciate a lot of things. Show's going to be a happy guy. You know what I can't wait for, Brian? When we finally do eclipse that plateau, that you know the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
When we finally do shows, we're saying, well, I guess I was wrong. I can't wait to see show. Well, maybe I was wrong. I guess this team is capable.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I mean, not to be a dick, but I'm fine with it. But don't get me wrong. I love Big Show and his analysis on the draft, and he's a highly intelligent guy about
he knows his players.
All the ins and outs on that. He's got me on that. I don't follow the draft very much, and that man is just on it for us. But I got to disagree with him on the Ayuk thing. Why get rid of? He just got 1,000 yards this year. He's amazing, and yes, he's dropped a few balls.
The fourth guy.
But come on.
Yeah,
he's just
fourth option.
He's getting better every year, is he not? Am I wrong? I think he's gotten better every year.
And since Kyle pissed him off, and can you imagine dealing with a guy like Ayuk, his personality? I got a feeling that Ayuk is not a kind of guy that takes a lot of. You got to talk to him in a certain way, and Shanahan didn't care. Shanahan went and told him he sucked, and that's why they had a problem.
Yeah.
Ayuk says, "Man, I'm a grown man. I get to see that conversation going on, and it got a little shaky there because that's what the conversation was. That Ayuk and Shanahan were having issues, and I knew from Ayuk's personality, I got a feeling Kyle said the wrong thing and pissed him off, but he came out of it, and he's a good ball player for it.
All Kyle had to do was say no more drop balls. That's all he had to do.
But Brian, remember they had an odometer on him. They said he was dragging
Oh,
ass
right,
in
yeah.
practice. They've never done that to any other player. They're checking out how
No.
fast you're moving. Really? Is that a little bit
Speaking
of a
of
nitpick?
odometers, Nick Bosa, he needs to get a driver's license, doesn't he?
For as fast as he's driving, man.
Oh man.
If Nick is the standard, all those guys would be getting fined. Because that guy's 100 miles an hour all game long. He never runs out of gas. Nick's the same guy in the fourth quarter as he is the first quarter. Ask every quarterback in the NFL. It's rough playing against Nick. My God.
Yeah.
An offensive lineman?
I'm not worried about Ronbo. Are you worried about money? I'm not worried about money with our team. I think we'll be fine. We always find out a way, don't we, to get all the players we need.
Well, they'll get rid of
keep
people.
the ones we want.
Yeah. The Niners will move people if they need money. Because they did that this year. More than any other team in the league, the Niners moved out money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I don't, I do agree. I think you and I have talked about, and Show talked about it, where we got to get somebody behind Trent Williams that's ready when he goes.
We're all worried about
that'll
that.
Be freeing up a lot of, yeah. And kicker. We need a kicker.
But in the meantime, get Robbie back here.
Carolina.
Yeah, Because can
really?
you see us?
You want Robbie back?
I do, Brian. You know why? I say that because I only want him to kick. Because, Brian, how many games have you watched other teams? I sit there and I sympathize as that kicker missed wide right. He missed wide left. And he does it more than one time. And I'm saying, oh, my God. I'd lose my mind.
And you know, we're going to see Robbie win games for other teams, and we're going to be regretting it when we see it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's going to be sad. But he just wants too much money, don't you think? If I wanted to stay with the team,
that's why I'm glad the rest of the NFL cooperated. They're not paying him. Robbie's coming over there saying, listen, my price tag is $5, and if you'll agree to that, I'll be here tomorrow morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, listen, we'll let you know. This has been going on because Robbie didn't give up. He wants to play.
Yeah. And how old is he?
41.
How old is he now?
41.
Wow.
You know, I give Robbie another 2 or 3 weeks. He hasn't gotten an offer yet. Somebody John's going to reach out to him. Robbie, you ready? Listen, I'm going to give him a little bit of more than you're going to give him.
I hope Seattle. No. If he goes to Seattle, Rombo, or the Rams.
No. He doesn't want to play for the Rams.
Better not.
I don't think he'd play for the Rams. I don't think he might play for Seattle, though.
Yeah.
Robbie wants to play with a contender. So if you're Kansas City, if you're Cincinnati, there's some few teams I think he'd sign with. He doesn't feel like going to a team to just lose. He's 41. That's a waste of his time. It's not just about the money.
Well, I think he just wants a paycheck right now, doesn't he? I'm sure he knows he's
but he doesn't feel like
there.
He wants to remain inspired, though.
Yeah.
At least that's what I.
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone for the birthday wishes, and you for them too.
Hey.
And I'm just staying positive still. I think our team's still the best in the league.
Oh.
We have the best scouts.
It's not the red and gold glasses.
We have the best players.
Damn right.
I just think this year is going to be a dominant year for us. You know, so
because we're polished.
And and I think the NFL is going to have to recognize that we are going to be good this year and not treat us badly like they have the last 2 years.
With the
I'm
refs
sick
and
of them,
else.
the way they treat us.
And stop giving the AFC all the love as if there was no NFC. But Brian, we're going to prove that anyway. All right.
Hey, when does the schedule come out? When does our schedule come out? Do you know?
Usually comes out shortly. There's a lot of people they know who's on our schedule and just don't know the order. So.
Yeah.
All right, birthday boy. We'll tell you what, I'll be see you Sunday, okay?
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Night, Brian.
Right.
And Victor A says, I'll trade Debo before I trade Ayuk. We're gonna have to make some big decisions in 2 years. But Victor, there's gonna be some expiring contracts within a couple of years, and there's also going to be that cap's going to expand to accommodate the NFL's. It's in the NFL's best interest to make sure that every team can hold on to as much personnel as possible. They're not trying to make it difficult for teams to sign up a bunch of players because it just the cap is more of a shot toward parity across the NFL, even for the smaller markets. But as far as teams getting weak and looking like the Rams, they're not wanting that. And the Rams were stupid to try that, and somebody should have called them and told them 2 years ago, don't do that. Big Show says Gina makes $82,000 a day. Ayuk wants 15 to 20 mil. We gave that to Hargraves. Where's the money? We agree. I'm trying to understand where the money's coming from. So eventually, even people like Mahomes, their contracts won't be big as we move forward. As the years go by, the cap's going to expand, and it's going to make it easy to accommodate some of these big-time players. Oh, my God. Of course, it's Marketing Pro to drop some knowledge, some Rams knowledge, whatever. Marketing Pro. Jim Everett, Brady 1, Manning 3, Matthew Dime Stafford. Well, Manning's number 2, and Dime Stafford. And Marketing Pro. Marketing Pro he's probably standing at the front door. The police probably are serving him up with a warrant. He's probably been hiding out. Let's see if we can get out of that. Give me the next
Hey,
person.
yo,
There.
Ronbo, what it do, player? Yo.
Marketing Pro, I have a feeling that whatever you called for tonight may have something to do with the subject matter, or it's Marketing Pro isms. What is it?
Well, let me tell you, man, it's starting to look like a rebuild in San Francisco. You guys about to lose Brandon Ayuk. It's thrilling to hear that. Hopefully he holds out. He deserves the bag, but now you guys paid Debo last year too much money. He is not a receiver. He's a special play guy. You run a reverse with him, but he can't run routes. B.I. is going to go to the Chiefs. That's what I'm telling you right now. He's going to go join my homeboy. You guys better trade him while you can. And I don't know, man. 49ers, the quarterback situation is still funny.
Is that
still funny to me.
It's annoying. But you know what? It's going to work out, Marketing Pro.
Hey, there's 49er fans saying that, Mr. Wonder Boy, after the elbow surgery, might not be the same. Even Big Show said that.
Yeah, everybody, everybody wonders.
I'm telling you right now, Trey Lance is not going to trust that ankle. I think he's going to be the starter this year for the 49ers, believe it or not. I think Trey will get his first shot, but we'll see how he does. But look at Jimmy G when he tore that ACL. He didn't even run. Look at Jimmy in 2017, for example. He could move around.
And
make some sidearm throws or whatever. Yeah. But after the ACL, he was let's see how Trey does. That's all I'm saying. Those kind of injuries. You can't just walk out there like brand new, like nothing happened.
The thing is, what happens to quarterbacks and Kyle Shanahan is whoever you were, when you come to me, here's what you need to do. Sit down so I can tell you this. What you've been doing is okay. But what you're going to do next is going to be spectacular. Why? Because I'm going to tell you how to do it, how it's supposed to be done, and how you and I can get along. See, Shanahan reshapes quarterbacks too much. He doesn't really allow them to be themselves because he believes, and he's got a success rate to back him up. If you do as you're told with Kyle Shanahan, you're going to win. If you do like you want to do, see, I have a real problem with that. You take away that quarterback's thunder and you made him into a robot. The robot is not going to work right, So I hope this time with Brandon, not Brandon, but I mean with Brock, he lets him be himself within the system. He's got to learn to do that. Let's loosen up on that grip on the neck. Just let it go. And we'll see.
That's why Kyle is not the genius people making him out to be. Quarterback is just like a shooting guard. You got to let him get in rhythm before he starts shooting threes, just like LeBron. When he's on a roll, LeGoat's going to hit those threes once he's in a rhythm. But if the coach is telling LeGoat, hey, go over there, catch the ball here, then run over here, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
so I don't really. You're going to have to. The only way Trey Lance will be able to do his thing, you got to play him to his strengths. You got to let him run some bootleg plays, try to throw it deep to Gray. I could see him doing that because Trey made some improvements on the deep ball pass. The short game, I don't know. He looked kind of funny to me. He can't make those 10 yards or below throws.
Yeah,
that's the big question. Has he made that improvement?
That's everybody wants to know, because he hasn't any time to work on that since he left. He was at where he was when he left is where he still is until he gets back out on that field. Those are the plays that you can beat the NFL now with, because if you're going to pass the ball all the time, you can't go deep all day. You've got to be able to cut that team up in the middle like a surgeon. A lot of quarterbacks who've had success, that's what they do. Brady was doing that before it became in fashion.
Oh, yeah. Now, like I said, look at the Rams on the other side now. Look at our offense. It's stacked. It's that plan B. McVay's just amping up the offense. We got the GOAT Donald. Hopefully somebody could step up on the outside, be a surprise on the defense. We're just going to score a lot of points. That's how the Rams are going to go about it. With 49ers, we will see. Is it Sam Darnold or Trey Lance? But Brandon Ayuk, I believe, will hold out. He's going to want the money because it's a risk out there. If you don't get your money now and you get injured, nobody's going to pay you. Mm. So I think he's going to hold out. He deserves the money.
Wait, I want you to give me a little more elaboration. You feel your team is stacked offensively. Give me some something to go on here as to why you believe that.
Oh, the Rams, come on now. You got dying Stafford at quarterback. Mr. 48 touchdowns, 6,000 yards in the Super Bowl. Only quarterback in history to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, his spine is fine. I mean, he got lit up last year. You didn't have some Tweety birds on his head because the offensive line wasn't really cool. But then Cam Akers for 500 yards the last 4 games. Big dog Cam is back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got two Atwell. I mean, look at him run routes. It's just lethal, man. The guy can run routes. He's quick. And you got Van Flash Jefferson. You better not ever go to sleep on him because he'll get you.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Tutu, was he hurt a lot last year?
He was, but the last half of the season, he finished strong. He finished strong. So and then don't forget our secret nuclear weapon, Lance McClutchin. You ain't heard him, but you will. 6'3", 210. Yeah. And he led all the rookies in yards last year in preseason. Then he got hurt. So we had a 2020 season, but this year the Rams are going to be right there. I actually think that we might win the division, believe it or not. I really do. I really believe the Rams could win the division.
You keep that thought and that energy. But Market Pro, we got to go now, and please get back to me. I love it when you talk like this.
Hey, hit the likes and subscribe. Ronbo Sports, the OG. Let's see what happens.
We will. Market Pro, have a great night.
Rams Nation.
It was my fault. I did ask him, who's on this offensive juggernaut you're talking about? And he went down through that list. Are you scared? I know I am. Hey, what? It cannot be. It looks like it might be. No, it's not. Oh, wait. Hey, Tony, get in here, Tony.
Ronbo, good evening. I was just trading text with Big Show, talking about the Jets receiving core, because I want one of them, as you know.
You know, wide receivers, that's where the Jets are making a mistake. Listen to Aaron Rodgers. Some of those guys they brought up and got them on their feet and got them productive. And Aaron said, I want a whole new bunch of dudes in here. I need this, and this. You handed him a laundry list. You worked hard to bring those players up to speed. They're young. They're inexpensive right now. And I got to bring in these dudes that are probably no better than Lazard and some of these other guys. They're not any better than what they got over there now.
Well, McCall Hartman is good, but I think he's like
McCall, yeah. McCall's good.
Yeah, but Ronbo, they traded Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is a nice number 3 that can, after the catch, he's outstanding. They traded him, but they get a second-round pick. And they still got Denzel Mims and Corey Davis. What the deal is, Corey Davis is making $10.5 million a year. So I'm waiting on them to release him. We're licking our chops because that's what we want as our number 2.
Yeah, Davis he ends up getting hurt a lot, it seems, too, doesn't it?
Lately, yes. When he was at Tennessee, no, but lately, yes. But I want him.
You know,
I think
I've always liked Corey. Yeah, So I understand you saying Mims, another one again. It's funny. The Jets got two guys.
I'll take
I
him
wanted
too.
Mims out of the draft, and I definitely had Davis in my draft that year when he came out of school. So
You know, I always say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Jets gonna regret doing that. That's what they receiving core like that.
Yeah,
Aristotle Rogers.
Well, because they didn't have a quarterback. Well, they got one, but he's over there being strange. So they figured, well, okay, we're not going with Zach. Let's go ahead and see what we can do for Aaron. And then they made those
Let me
moves.
ask you this about Zach. Do you think Zach will learn from Aaron Rodgers?
Well, he can't help but to learn from him. But is his attitude as such, will he absorb and appreciate learning from Aaron Rodgers? Zach has some, I don't know. I wish I could see him more often and hear what he says, some of the things he has to say, so I can get an assessment of just what kind of personality we're talking about here. Because that attitude that he shows, Zach's not going to be in the NFL very long.
I know, man. Not holding himself accountable, blaming his team. No,
Yeah,
you don't do
nobody
that.
does that.
No. And Ronbo, I'm gonna tell you this too. I'm gonna tell Niner Empire. Listen to me, good Niner Empire. I might laugh at me what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Sam Darnold. Learning from Kyle Shanahan. Don't sleep on him. Sam Darnold is hungry.
Yeah, I know.
Sam Darnold has played. This is the best players he's had around him since he's been in the NFL. The man does have talent.
And
He
last
doesn't
year,
have to do it all himself.
that's true. And that last year, those last few games he played in Carolina, he looked good. He looked like he could definitely play Shanahan football too. Some of those short passes and things he was making, and then all of a sudden he explode for a long one. He's got the athleticism and the skills, and it seems now he's got the aptitude, whatever that was as far as lacking. Now it seems like he had a grip on it. I don't see him failing, actually. I don't know.
Sleep on Sam Darnold, Empire. Don't sleep on him. He's with talented players, offensive line, position players, receivers. He's got talent around him, and he's talented. He just had to do it all himself with a half-ass offensive line in Cleveland, and, he's got talent. Don't sleep on him.
And, Tony, people don't understand how that works. If the quarterback is under siege on everything, well, he needs to be mobile. Listen, mobile, you could be mobile, but you cannot be under extreme pressure to run every time that ball snaps. You need a moment to think, 2, 3, and let it go. But if I count 1 and here they come, that's not going to work. It doesn't care how mobile you are. So,
I hate to say this. I think the pressure's on Trey Lance, Ronbo. You know
no,
why?
there's no doubt. It's not his
Because
fault.
your fan base, they're going to start getting all over that kid. He makes one mistake because of what y'all gave up to get him. No first rounder this year, no first rounder last year. Your fan base, they got to give a man a chance.
Yeah, he hasn't had a chance to demonstrate it. He hasn't had a chance to get his feet wet. I mean, I'm rooting for him actually in camp because it wasn't his fault that he got hurt. And as I said, players get hurt in the NFL. That's just the way it is. But that he hasn't had a chance to actually demonstrate how quickly he can learn, if he can learn, and if he can get out there and apply himself to a point where he can be an NFL quarterback. And now, the impatience and every fan base is like, get him out of here, trade him. God, y'all cold.
Because how fans turn on people real quick.
Yeah.
But hey, Ronbo, I heard Petey and you know how I like to mess with Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Petey and his goons was in Gainesville, Florida, watching Anthony Richardson's pro day. I'm like, good, have at it.
Oh, I
don't want that bum on my. Go ahead and waste that fifth on him. Go ahead.
They do have the fifth pick, don't they?
But Ronbo, he only played 1 year. His pass completion percentage is 58.3%. Ronbo, those are red flags to me.
I mean, bright
You only
red,
played 1
shining,
year
glowing, lights on it.
Yeah, you a first-round pick? No. I mean, he's sure he can learn over time, but the NFL stands for not for long when you make mistakes.
Yeah, you haven't got all
Trying to do
day,
it
and
yourself.
if you're a physical player like he is, the odds of getting hurt are really high. So,
Yep. So I don't see the hype. They hyping this kid. I'm like, he only played 1 year. Look at his pass completion percentage.
You know,
Are y'all kidding me?
and people
Are
calling
y'all
him the next.
kidding me?
They think he's another Lamar. I said, you know what? Lamar Jackson must get tired of people say man, everybody come out of there can run. They say go be like me. I can see Lamar. You know, it's not about just running. I don't know why people think a quarterback's just running is all he needs to do. Be physical, avoid pressure.
And Ronbo, I don't hate the young man. I like him. Just not with us. I'm tired of hearing the name Lamar Jackson. I really am. I'm tired of hearing that name.
He was on his way to Atlanta, Tony.
No. Oh, absolutely not. We got a plan, and it's not happening. But Ronbo, I feel like your defense. I was in one of my chats tonight. I said, "Oh, our sacks are going up." I said between Calais Campbell, Caden Ellis, and David Amiata, that's 19 and a half sacks last year.
Oh, good look out.
we as a team last year only had 24.
You know?
As a team.
See, because
defense is about to go up.
Defense is what people don't want to give enough credit. Defense is what dictates how well your offense is going to do. If they're on the field most of the day and all the time, of course you're going to take another team apart. That's the way it works. It's about this build this this fake great offense. Remember that year that the Hawks beat up on Manning and company? They had an outstanding offense. That defense took them down to their knees and then took them apart. That's the way it works.
Yep. Ronbo, I was throwing combinations in my chat, in one of my chats. I said, so what about this? In the 3-4 alignment, you got Calais Campbell at the defensive end, David Almayada at the nose tackle, Grady Jarrett at end. You got Arnold Albuquerque, our second-round pick last year, outside linebacker, Lorenzo Carter at the other one. I said, we want to go to a 4-3?
Yeah. We're
going to put David Almayada and Eddie Goldman at the defensive tackle. That's over 600 pounds.
That's like Calais
Grady
came
Jarrett
over
there. Grady Jarrett at the defensive end and Calais at the other defensive end. Who you going to double?
You can't.
You going to double Grady Jarrett and let those two defensive tackles be single covered? Almayada got quick feet at 335.
You get ready to get excited. There's nothing more exciting than watching your defense beat up on some of the NFL's best. Watching Aaron Rodgers bite the dust every 5 minutes every time we played him. God, that was fun. And watching his face, every now and then Aaron would go down slowly. They'd pull him down because, the blockers. You'd see Aaron's face. He's still looking around as he's going down to the ground trying to get rid of the ball. But he knew it was over. He just can't find anybody.
And that kid, the kid talking about the best player in the draft, that Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle from Georgia.
Yeah.
The Lions talking about taking him at 5, Ronbo. Play him with Hayden Hutchinson. Ooh, they get him at 5.
You got to play the Lions this year?
I don't know. I haven't seen the schedule. I don't know if we play them or not.
See, I was worried about the Lions last year. People kept laughing at me. Ronbo, man, you be tripping, man. Ain't nobody worried about no Lions. I said, you know what? Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like what I see over there. I do not want them in the first round of the playoffs. Sure, it turns out they weren't quite ready for that, but they will be this year.
They will be this. Yep, they building that squad.
So,
And Ronbo, you were talking to another caller. You guys were exactly right, talking about how you build your draft. I'm like, yeah, you're going to get some good football players in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. 2nd round, 2, 1st round, but it's not guaranteed that first-round players are going to make it.
That's why.
All of them.
That's why, it's like somebody Briggs said, get rid of that 1st and 2nd round pick and trade them down for all the 3rd and 4th and 5th round picks. Oh my God, the 49ers with 3rd, 4th, and 5th round picks. They know how to build them. I told you we got to go.
Grady Jarrett, All-Pro Grady Jarrett, 3 sacks in Super Bowl 51, 5th round pick.
See, George Kittle, all-world tight end, 5th round pick.
Yes, sir.
Dre Greenlaw, player, linebacker extraordinaire, 5th round pick.
I was reading about him the other day, 2019 draft. Yep.
Ah, man.
Yep. It's all about coaching and the players working together.
It is. It's hard. All right, Tony. You have a great night. I'll see you Sunday, huh?
We'll see you Sunday. I got some P.D. Carroll jokes.
I love it. Let me know if you got some Rams, too.
Oh, man, forget about them bums. They're history. Oh, Ronbo, Taylor Rapp signed the 1-year deal with Buffalo today. I put it in the comments. I said Taylor Rapp told the Buffalo media, I'd rather sit out and not be with a team than re-sign with those bums. He signed today. I'll see you Sunday.
Okay, Tony. Man, that
Take
Exodus
care.
leaving LA. I love it. I love it. And Marketing Pro, but if you get like to win the division, Marketing Pro, if you do win the division next year, 2023-24, I will immediately, upon your doing that or achieving that accomplishment, I will say I was wrong. Back in March, April, when I said, Marketing Pro, you're making me laugh with this division win, I was wrong. And let me throw a flag on me for having not had enough respect to appreciate your prognostication. I bow to you, sir. Y'all is bad. You know, I'd rather drink donkey pee-pee than have to do that, Marketing Pro. I'm not worried. I'm telling you right now, I'll make it public that I will apologize for my doubt. Oh, here's the guy. Marketing Pro, here's the guy you want to convince. I was going to have Jalen come in and get you. Anyway, well, who's next? Are we done? Looks like we're done. Jalen, I was just coming to get you. Jalen, you sure you want to be done? Because, boy, Gene D and some of the rest, Everett, you know, the guy who, he's right up there with the butt, what's the guy who did the butt fumble? Didn't Everett sack himself? Why would you name yourself? Whatever. We're going to go. Fam, thanks for the contribution tonight, fam. Please subscribe so I can find you when it's time to come on here. We have this kind of fun all the time. And hit those likes. I'll see you Sunday, fam, and see what else is going on in the Niner Empire.